Well, an abrupt start to the morning. As I was finishing up my oats, a massive mama black bear. I immediately was like, hey bear, but he or she kept moseying toward me and then kind of dipped back in toward the river. I just always err on the side of caution. Here's camp. Very happy about this pitch. Very happy about being up here tonight at Anthony Creek. Well, welcome back to the channel, guys. If you are new here, my name is Jamie McCracken. Really appreciate you joining me today on the adventure. And today I'm in the Great Smoky Mountains doing a quick 10 or 11 mile loop overnight backpacking trip. And I'm starting here on the Anthony Creek Trail. I'm going to connect that to the Bote Mountain or Bote Mountain Trail. We'll come over to the Cove Trail, and then we'll come out over here and connect with the Crib Gap Trail. And that'll take us back to the car. Now, a little confusing logistic-wise where to park. I was kind of confused. I didn't want to get stuck on the Cove loop where everybody drives around. It takes a few hours to get around that thing with all the traffic. But I did find an awesome spot over by the Cove Ranger Station. A huge parking lot. I double-checked with the rangers, make sure it was a find an overnight, park there. I had my permit and all those good things. And they said, yep, you're good to go. So super excited to get up to Anthony Creek. That's where we're going to camp tonight. Camp backcountry site number 9. Had a little bit of road walking to get over here, and then connected over to the picnic area, the Cove picnic area where you cannot park overnight. But now we're here, walked a little bit up the trailhead, and we're going to start this loop. So let's get on to it. Anthony Creek Trail up to backcountry site number 9, Anthony Creek. Now you'll notice today I'm on this wide trail, and that is because the Anthony Creek Trail is actually a horse and hiking trail. So the horse trails in the Great Smoky Mountains are a little bit wider than the single track hiking trails that you normally see. Now we'll have some of that on this route that I'm doing, but for today, this is a pretty wide path up to Anthony Creek. I've come to a trail junction here. Looks like if we turn right, we'll head up to the Appalachian Trail, the AT. That'll also take you to the Russell Field Shelter, which I think I stayed at last year. I believe so, yes. If not, I took a break there. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a really nice shelter. But I'm going to continue straight up the Anthony Creek Trail. That's a big pile of bear scat right there. Whew. Doesn't look too fresh. The camera doesn't always do these climbs justice, but I've been climbing all day so far. And I've only got like a mile or two left to get out to backcountry site number 9 here in the Great Smoky Mountains, Anthony Creek. We've been just following Anthony Creek pretty much all day, crossing some footbridges. But yeah, climbing a good bit. I forget how much the elevation gain is, but I'll tell you tonight at camp when we get up here, and we're doing pretty much a little over half of the total elevation gain of this trail. We'll continue tomorrow up to Bote Mountain, or Bote Mountain, however you pronounce it. And that'll finish off the elevation for the most part. And it'll all be downhill from there. It's also very rocky. So whether you're a trail runner kind of person or a boot kind of person, just know you're dealing with stuff like this the whole time. And you're climbing, even though it doesn't look like it probably on this camera. Whew. Check it out, we have made it up to camp tonight. This is backcountry site number 9. Just as a reminder. Now there's a lower camp down there, that's where I camped last year. There's also an upper camp up here. There you go, there's the sign. Very nice. Pretty easy day. It only took, it was like less than 4 miles to get up here, so we'll have about 6 to finish the loop tomorrow, but it's only like 1 o'clock p.m. and we're at camp, so I might set up. I'm probably gonna do lower camp again because I love this little section. I can hop right over this log and go get water, but we'll check out the upper camp real quick. Got the fire pit up here against the rock, really nice. And the bear cables are also located up here on the upper camp. So that's where I'll be hanging my bag tonight. And then there's some water access. I think there's a little offshoot trail back in there. And then I'll show you back here real quick. There's another offshoot trail. So water access back here. You see that? I don't know if you see through the trees, but it's like a little waterfall back there. And it's about 25 feet away. You can go down there and get some water, filter. All right, I'm gonna have a, well, actually, let me show you. There's a couple tent spots too up here, obviously. I don't know if there's, maybe right here is one, but the main ones seem to be right in this section. So you can put 2 or 3 tents up in here. And then of course you've got the lower section of camp as well. I'm gonna decide which section I'm gonna sleep in tonight. I slept down there last year and I really liked it. You get to hear the water all night long, which is nice. And first I'm gonna get a snack and then we'll set up camp. Got camp all set up here at Anthony Creek. Got a nice pitch on the tent here. I chose to stay on the upper camp this year. So again, last year I camped down there, and this year I'm on the upper camp, and I got a nice pitch. Got the my bag hanging from the bear cable for now. And let me take you inside the tent. What I've got on this trip is the typical. I've got, and this is overkill because this is mid-September, but R value of over 8 with the Nemo Extreme. So it's the Nemo Tensor Extreme regular wide. I've got a 30-degree down sleeping bag, and I've got my Nemo pillow for a pillow. Very nice. And that's it. I got a book and you know, my electronic stuff to recharge. And sometimes I get that question in the comments, is like, you know, how do you charge batteries when you're out in the backcountry? All that good stuff. I'll show you because I'm currently charging my iPhone, but I've just got a 20,000 milliamp. I don't think it's Anchor. Oh no, it is. It's an Anchor. Here it is. I'll show it to you. So it's a 20,000 milliamp. Again, overkill for an overnight backpacking trip, but that's the only one I have. So I carry it. It charges my little tiny air pump to pump up my stuff, and obviously my cell phone, this camera, the batteries. You know, it does a great job. It's got 2 or 3 ports, USB and the other one, whatever that one is. So yeah, but here's camp. Very happy about this pitch. Very happy about being up here tonight at Anthony Creek. And let me show you real quick. Forgot. Let me get the stats because I wanted to tell you how much we hiked today. Obviously it wasn't too much because it's just a quick overnighter, but looks like we hiked 3.7 miles. We gained an elevation of 1,422 feet, and it took me about an hour and 40 minutes to get up here. So yeah, and I think we have about 5.8 to finish off the loop tomorrow. Of course, I came from over there. I was climbing up. Tomorrow we'll continue to climb up a little bit more, and then we will connect with the Bote Mountain Trail, then the Lead Cove Trail, and then the Crib Gap Trail. So most of it be downhill. We have a little bit of a climb, like a 500-foot climb at the bottom for some reason, then we go back down again. So a little bit of a roller coaster tomorrow. Nonetheless, I'm super happy to be up here. It's pretty early in the afternoon, so I'll get to enjoy camp. I'm gonna read my book, and it's gonna be a wonderful evening here at Anthony Creek. Well, good morning. It is 7 o'clock a.m. After I ate dinner last night, I came straight to the tent, read a little bit more, and I've been in here ever since for about 12 or 13 hours. So I'm well rested, ready to get back on trail and finish off this overnight backpacking loop here in the Great Smoky Mountains. Let's break down camp and hit the trail this morning. First light should be coming up pretty soon. Right before I have my morning oatmeal with dried strawberries, roasted almonds, and collagen, I'm gonna have this little Muir energy goo. I love these things. Took them with me to the Grand Canyon this year. I discovered them last year, and I've taken them on a couple of backpacking trips. But this is the blueberry bergamot, and all it has in it is coconut palm nectar, blueberry, blackstrap molasses, bergamot essential oil, and pink Himalayan sea salt. So this is my favorite one. No, I would say the chocolate almond butter one is my favorite one, but this is probably my second. Very blueberry. Well, an abrupt start to the morning. As I was finishing up my oats, a massive mama black bear came from, well, it was actually kind of in front of me in that big bunch of shrubs. So I immediately was like, hey bear, but he or she kept moseying toward me, and then kind of dipped back in toward the river or the creek. So I packed up my bear can, threw my trash into my odor-proof bag and also into my bear can, and I was able to gather everything and get out of camp. So safely. I didn't video it. I wasn't gonna, risk anything or any further for that matter, because my life is more important than these videos, that is for sure. And I know people have a lot of different thoughts about black bears. They are just herbivores and they usually don't attack humans, but I'm still fairly new to this out here in the Smokies, even though I've done hundreds of miles. And I just always err on the side of caution rather than film and try to be cool and get the good shot. I think it's smart to let it be. But when I get down to the ranger station today, I'll let them know that there was a pretty large black bear sighting at Anthony Creek. And that's going to do it for the Anthony Creek Trail section of the trek. As we make it to the trail junction here, if you turn right, you can go up to the Appalachian Trail in about 1.5 miles. But we are headed left on the Bote Mountain Trail, and we'll connect over to the Lead Cove Trail in about a mile and some change. First, by the way, I'm going to put my contacts in organize my bag, make sure everything is in there. I don't think that I left anything important down at camp. I'm pretty sure I got everything situated because I didn't have much laying out besides my bear can and a smelly proof bag. So everything else was on me, and I had to get my trekking poles. But I'm gonna organize my bag, put my contacts in, and then we'll continue down on the trail here and top of Bote Mountain. Pretty cool. Sunrise and clear skies. I'm also gonna take this rain jacket off because I'm sweating after making that climb up here. Oh, this is the only warmth I really brought on the trip because I knew it was gonna potentially rain one day down at camp. I camped over at Elkmont Campground for a few days, which was really nice, by the way. Oh yeah, you can see. Ugh, I'm sweaty. So really, I only brought this raincoat for the rain. It's pretty mild temperatures, which has been great. It's not been higher than like 78 or 79, and temps down into like the mid 60s or low 60s, I guess, at night. So, all right. Ugh, sweating. Put my contacts in. We'll keep heading down the trail. All right, I have made it down to the trail junction right behind me. I am not going to be continuing straight. I'm going to be making the sharp left here to get on the, oh, almost tripped. I'm going to get on the lead Cove Trail, and as you can see, we are about 2 miles away from Laurel Creek Road. That's close to where I parked. Of course, I had to make a little bit of a detour to park overnight at the Cades Cove Ranger Station. So, couple miles left and we'll finish up this trek, and it has been all downhill today, which has been just fantastic. Of course, a lot of climbing yesterday. Now when we get down to the Crib Gap Trail, I think we have a little bit of a climb, maybe 500-600 feet, and then we'll go back down again, and that'll be it. That's a very short climb though, but for now we are continuing on the descent down off the mountain here. Just a couple miles to go to finish up the loop. Massive blowdown right here, but some good trail maintenance with it cut, but my goodness, completely uprooted. I don't know if that was from the hurricane a few years ago or if it happened before that. That is a big tree that blew down right there. Wow. This is Sugar Cove Prong that I'm following along today. Nice little creek here in the Smokies. It's the biggest stream crossing I've had today, and really the only one that had water. So Sugar Cove Prong. It'll be over to our right for now. Do you hear that? That is civilization. We are coming up on Laurel Creek Road. Right below me is Laurel Creek Road. People heading in and out of Cades Cove, mostly in, I would assume, because it's it's morning, and a lot of people like to do that Cades Cove loop, which you can do in your car. But we will eventually cross the road down here. I think we got another half mile to hike before we do that. And then I believe we have a little bit of a climb before we go back down for the final stretch. So all right, I'm down here at Laurel Creek Road. We are actually not going to cross it just yet. That takes you over to the Turkey Pen Ridge Trail. We're going to continue on over here. We're going to cross a little bit later. But right now, we're just going to continue this way. I think we turn right up in here, and then we'll make the climb that I was talking about, and then we'll cross the road a little later. This is where we are turning left. This says the Turkey Pen Ridge Trail is 1/10 of a mile this way, but this is now connecting on the Crib Gap Trail. So I believe it goes back up in there. We're gonna make the left here, and then we've got a road crossing to get across Laurel Creek Road. And about to finish up the trek. This is a neat little section of trail. That underpass was the road crossing, so we're not actually crossing the road. We just went under that little underpass. That's pretty cool. I was wondering, and now I'm on some overgrown section of the Crib Gap Trail. It looks like we're gonna have a skinny little path and some bushwhacking to get through this final stretch. Trail junction right here. We're going to continue straight on the Crib Gap Trail. You see the 3 prongs right there? Go right down the middle. This section I think is about a mile left, a little over a mile to go. So again, we're going to be pretty close to the road, so we're going to hear some road traffic. No big deal though. I've had a lot of fun in the mountains, and it's always cool to hear, civilization after you've spent a night out in the backcountry, and especially multiple nights, for sure. But this overnighter got the job done. It's very peaceful. Made a road crossing, Laurel Creek Road again. Now we're back into the forest. Still making a little bit of a climb. Then we'll descend down, and that'll be it. I just checked my map. I've got an 1/8 of a mile to go, so 0.8. But as you can see, we're gonna be climbing still up, and then we'll descend down to where we started. Of course, we started on the Anthony Creek Trail, but it'll spit us out right there at those horse stables. And we'll make our way over to the picnic area, and we have a little bit of a road walk to get over to Cades Cove Ranger Station. So probably over a mile left, but of the actual trail, just about 1.8. I think this is the last long switchback climb here that we've got. This has been a wonderful trail though. We have made it back to the trail junction where we started yesterday. We are coming off the Crib Gap Trail. I think I just saw a bobcat, by the way, across the trail. It was some kind of cat, that's for sure. But we made it. Here it is. We started this way yesterday on the Anthony Creek Trail, looped around, hit the Bote Mountain Trail, and then the Lead Cove Trail, and then down the Crib Gap Trail. So, headed back down Anthony Creek. We'll go across the picnic area down here, and then we'll have a little bit of road walking to get over to the ranger station where I'm parked. This has been so much fun. Made it back over to the Cades Cove Ranger Station. Right across the road here is my car. Yay! What a loop. An excellent overnight backpacking trip here in the Great Smoky Mountains. Want to go over the final stats? I'll put them up right here. It looks like we did 10.3 miles, so just over 10 miles, and over 2,300 feet of elevation gain. So nice little climb and a nice little overnight backpacking loop. I would consider it pretty easy for myself, but moderate for others. It would be a great beginner backpacking loop here in the Cades Cove area of the Great Smoky Mountains. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it. Give the subscribe button a little click too. Both of those things are completely free. And if you want to become an ultra supporter of the channel, of course you can join as a member. I've got 3 different tiers there. Each one has its own little perks. You can check that out. And yeah, guys, really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me on this adventure, and I will see you on the next one.